Well, in just about 20 minutes, court will resume in Brunswick, Georgia, where 3 white men are on trial in the death of Ahmaud Arbery. Later this week, 100 black pastors will descend on the small town after a defense attorney told them to stay away. We don't want no more black pastors in here in this courtroom. We have our dynamic team on deck, BNC correspondent Dray Clark and Justice correspondent Candace Kelley. Dray, let me start off with you. Well, let me just set the scene for us today. We had a wild week in court last week, highlighted by that gaffe, that statement made by Kevin Goff. What can we expect in court today? Set the scene for us.
Well, we know that testimony ended last week with one of the members of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. He was being cross-examined by Kevin Goff. The judge felt as if Goff was kind of dragging things out, and I think he could sense that the jury, members of the jury, at least some of them, were experiencing fatigue and getting tired. So he went ahead and adjourned until Monday morning. So we know that they'll pick up where they left off with that member of the GBI. And essentially, he's just talking more about the investigation. He spent a significant amount of time speaking to William Bryan. And so we know that Kevin Goff is representing William Roddy Bryan. And so it explains why he took so much time talking to that detective. So that's where we'll start today. As to what will happen throughout the week, you know, it's anyone's guess. This has been nothing short of unbelievable at times.
Yeah, you've been watching the proceedings closely and had to, run after Kevin Goff outside, as I recall, last week and kind of get him all the way together. But Candace, I want to shift to you and talk about momentum, because it's something that you've talked to us about in any trial. And I want to know how you see the momentum moving, so to speak, after last week.
Well, I think that the judge is very frustrated at the momentum or lack thereof. He doesn't like interruptions. No judge likes interruptions in their courtroom because it really interrupts the continuum for the jury to hear the evidence. And there have been so many motions during this trial and so many stop and goes. On one day, there was about half a dozen times where the jury had to take a break. And that doesn't bode well when you have attorneys that are giving their narrative, trying to feed them information. So I think that the judge is not very happy, very frustrated. I think everybody's frustrated. Dray talked about fatigue and, this judge fatigue, there's fatigue from the jury, there's fatigue probably from the reporters, there's fatigue all the way around because of the interruptions and the momentum that is just not there, Sharon.
Well, Candace, the last witness we heard from on Friday sheds light on, I guess, how the prosecution is doing. The previous testimony given by the defendant has hurt them a great deal. Can you explain that for us?
Listen, all of the defendants, what's coming back to haunt them is their own words. All of the investigators that they've spoken to, police officers that they spoke to, have only spoken in a way that just did not look good for any of the defendants, because they basically said, and by their own admission, that they didn't know why they were following Arbery. They don't know why they were chasing Arbery. Dray mentioned that this last investigator that was on the stand, we'll probably hear from him again today, but he spoke specifically about William Roddy Bryan. And in his situation, he heard William Roddy Bryan say, listen, I don't know why exactly we were following him, but it was just instinct. Maybe he shot someone. Maybe he stole something. I don't know, but I do know that it was instinct that forced me to kind of confront him and really just imprison him to a place where he ultimately was killed. So all of these defendants, especially right now, we're hearing about Bryan, all of their words are coming back to haunt them because by their own admission, they had no idea what they were doing. And in terms of the citizen's arrest, it did not go in terms of how the citizen's arrest law should and would have protected them had they done anything right.
So Dray, and I can't get off of that confrontation you had with Attorney Goff last week, including what he said about members of the black press. And I hope we have it and we can play it, but I want you to take us through his complaint, not just about Reverend Al Sharpton, who we call, Jesse Jackson, or however he phrased it, but also the black press. What did he say?
Kevin Goff has been what I call a motion machine. And last week was not the first time that he focused on black people. You may recall a couple of weeks ago, he expressed to the judge that members of the black media that are covering the trial may not be don't have the ability, he said, to maybe be fair and impartial, and that in some way, because of our coverage, we also were negatively influencing or intimidating the jury. We confronted him about that as well. We walked right up to him at his car and we said, Mr. Goff, what exactly did you mean when you were talking about the members of the black media and covering this trial and negatively influencing the jury selection process? And he said, no, I think you guys are doing a great job, a fantastic job. And so Friday was the same thing. I waited for him in the parking lot because I wanted to hear him tell us, what exactly were you thinking when you said, we don't need any more black pastors coming into this courtroom? I mean, that's straight out of Central Casting, Mississippi burning type of language. So when I approached him and asked him, he was reluctant, he was deflective, and this is what we've come to know about him. But I told you guys last week that as sure as day follows night, that when he made those comments about black pastors coming into the courtroom, that it was a signal to black pastors all across the country to get to Georgia. And that's what's going to happen on Thursday. They will be here in the hundreds to send a message to him.
Yeah, and they're coming, like you said, on Thursday to pray with the family there. I got to ask you, Candace, because is this the same Rhodey Bryan who said something about the Joe Sixpacks, and he's the same one that said something about need more Bubbas on the jury? So he's doing this, and it seems to me it could be strategic. I don't know if he's that dumb, but he could be. I don't know. But if you're the McMichaels, if he goes down, if his client goes down, you're going down with him. So could you see a scenario where the McMichaels try to kind of separate themselves from Bryan and ask for separate trials? How does that work?
Well, listen, we've already heard from William Bryan's attorney early on saying that he didn't want to be affiliated with the McMichaels at all because his defendant was someone who, wasn't holding a gun. He was holding a camera. But for this video, we wouldn't be here because there wouldn't be any video footage, which is the star witness of this trial. So really, it is Bryan who, along the way, his attorney, who has been saying, please separate us from the McMichaels here, because more than likely they are going down when it comes to looking at the both of them and the evidence. More than likely the McMichaels are going down versus the Bryan. Now, I believe that they will be found guilty on some levels, but in terms of the McMichaels, they certainly have more culpability because they had the guns, they were physically fighting with Arbery, and I think that that's what we are looking at here. If there could be a potential separation, I doubt that the judge would honor it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Goff continued to ask for these particular defendants to be separated.
Well, I don't know. He'll get everything he asked for, Candace. We'll see what happens inside the courtroom, but Dray's right. You better turn an eye to Thursday because they're coming.
That's right.
And I do want to know if they'll show up on those. You know how the black pastors don't travel alone. They usually have those rickety school buses, Dray, where they come, people follow them, choirs. Who knows? Kurt Franklin could show up, the Winans. I mean, this could really turn into something. We're almost at, I'll give you the last word, Dray, but I do want you to keep an eye on that for us.
Listen, some of these pastors that are coming have PJs or private jets, so I'm sure the local Brunswick airport here, not too far from here, will be quite busy on Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Yeah, they're not on buses anymore. They travel in luxury, at least some of them. But it will be quite a scene on Thursday morning to see them out here. It's going to be one great picture. I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, them building funds are paid off.
In style. Yes, they do. They do. Everybody tithe, and we're going to keep an eye in the courtroom this morning. Dray Clark, Candace Kelley. Candace Kelley. You hear that? Get the name right, Mike Hill. James Michael Hill. Keep it right here on BNC.